Gravando.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining our opportunity session on essay writing, brainstorming for the Common App essay. Kind of noisy here. I can hear my voice. This is driving me crazy, but I'm still here. Anyway, I would like to welcome Stefano Belloni, which is the ETA who works with Leonardo Pontel, and he assists Marina, right, Marina? With her application to the US universities. And anyway, let's talk about essay writing for the Common App. Erica, could you start, please? Erica?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you just put it on presentation mode, please?
Yes, I can.
Great, thank you.
Where are you, Erica?
I think you just click on apresentar, and that should do it.
Aonde? Não, começar a compartilhar, mudar apresentador para a Erica. Estou tentando.
No.
Erica, pronto.
No,
Sim,
because I don't have the presentation. You do. So click.
Eu tenho que mudar. Ok, participants. Ok, Erica, just wait here. But you are already organizer.
I know, but I don't have the presentation with me. You have to
present.
No.
Okay, now you...
Faz assim, sim. Peraí, gente, uma pausa.
Because you are a presenter.
Tem um apresentar do PowerPoint que está aparecendo aí na sua tela. Present, que daí vai aparecer na sua tela, não tem problema, porque eu tô sem apresentação aqui.
Ah, tá.
Entendeu?
Isso. Ah, tá. É isso que você quer. Pronto. Ok. Eu vou mexendo aqui na apresentação, tá?
Thank you.
Ok.
So, mas aí agora tá aparecendo para quem? Para ninguém. Precisa aparecer a apresentação. Cadê? Go. Yes. Okay, so everyone, we're going to talk about the Common App essay, right? On the last workshop that all of you participated, we did a activity in which you read 3 different types of applications, right? So you saw hang on, Stefano, your mic is not connecting now. Do you want to try? Hang on, let me try to put you on presentation mode. Oh, wait. There's a sound there. Maybe get out the presentation and come back on. Try to do that, okay? Okay. So during the activity that you all did with Martha, right? You read 3 different applications, and in these applications, there were also the essay. And so the Common App essay is definitely the most important one. And who is going to decide if you're going to be a student at the universities? Who? Any ideas? No? No ideas? Do I get to decide if you all go to university? I wish.
I wish.
It's actually the admissions officers, right? Exactly, Mariana. The admissions office that will make the decision. So Simone, next slide, please. So as you all know, they have to look through the application, and in the application, there's the Common App essay that will tell your story. But then it's not only one person that's going to read your application, your essay, because everyone has a different set of eyes and a different opinion on things. And so usually there are committees that are formed to go over the application process. So usually in smaller schools, you will have a smaller office that's going to review everything. But then in bigger schools, there's going to be a as you can see on the right side there, the image, so many people involved in the application and reading process of your common essay. Okay, and so that's the idea of you thinking about your Common App essay. It needs to grab the reader's attention because it's going to go through a lot of people. Okay, so thinking about that, next slide, please.
Let me just say something.
Sure.
Just to complement. And sometimes you have just one admission officer to read your entire application and the Common App essay and the supplementary essays you need to write. So that's why you need, not just why, but you need to do and to write a great essay if you want to impress the university. But there are some mistakes you should avoid, and you are going to explain them along the presentation. Go ahead, Erica.
Yes. So in this slide right here, you can see that you need to tell your story, right? So your grades are numbers, the essay, the test scores are numbers, right? Extracurricular activities, they add up to being numbers because they want to see how many you've done, how many years you were involved. So you need to tell another side of the story, which is the emotional side. So they want to read your story and feel connected to you. And so whenever you're writing your Common App essay, you have to put your story in the paper, right? But what do you have to do about that? Usually the Common App, it's way more about yourself, but with the supplements, it's about the university, right? So you have to do your research about the university. You have to know the school before you start writing about it, right? So those two things have to mesh, your own personal story and the story of the university. And why do you want to go to this school? So that when they're reading, they're feeling like, yes, both sentiments are aligned. One thing that it's interesting for you guys to know is, everyone just did their first preliminary college list, and most of you put at least one college that was the same for everybody. And that's normal in this stage. But now with the feedback of your advisors on your college list, you're able to dig deeper into the universities and really, really understand what their mission is, if it's a good fit for you. Does it make sense, the program that you're going to be studying for 4 years? So you're going to have to go a little bit more and deep and research about the school in order to make sense for you to put it on your list. Because when you're writing about that school, you need to have substance. You need to have something to write about. Okay, so whenever you unpack your story, as we say, it needs to be sort of in alignment with the school. Simone, do you want to add anything?
I think you said everything, but what else I could say? Well, you need to do your research. If you want to apply to a specific, for example, if you would like to apply to Barnard College, for example, which is a women's college in New York, you should not say, well, I want to apply to Barnard College because it's my dream schools, and besides, it's located in New York, and New York is a great city. Big mistakes. You should specify why you really want to apply to that institution, and you need also to give examples showing that you are going to be a good fit for the university, and the university is also a good fit for you. This is the perfect match. I think that's all for now. Thank you.
So as I said, the Common App is going to be a very personal essay, but it needs to have your values there, right? And it needs to show who you are to the admissions office. The writing supplements will let the officers know if you are, those values that you showed on your Common App make sense with the university, okay? And then here we have an example of 3 candidates that are applying to different programs, but take a look at them, okay? And based on the activity that we did at the workshop, who would you
Perfect.
admit out of these 3?
Yes, and you can notice that all of them, they have almost the same scores. If you take a look, first of all, if the rankings at school, take a look. The first one is the 12th student in a range of 123. The other one is the 7, a range of 65 students. And the third one is the 9 student in class among 82 students. So they're not so different. Both of them seems to be competitive. Regarding scores, the first one is score 650 in math and 640 in reading and writing. The second is score 700 in math, great score, and 600 in reading and writing. And the third one, 6020 in math and reading and writing, he scored 650. So you see, if you take a look at the students, yes, they can have different styles, but anyway, they don't look so different. And let's suppose that these 3 students want to apply to the same program. Let's suppose that they want to apply to Harvard. I'm going to use as an example Harvard, and let's think that they want to apply to political sciences in Harvard. And the admission officers need to read their applications. Regarding extracurricular, I think they have good extracurricular. The first one love to learn new language, so he take classes in English, Spanish, and German. He does a volunteer work, he or she, I don't know, a volunteer work 10 hours a week. Wow, it's a lot. And he has honorable mention in physics Olympics. The second one, it's a South American fencing champion. It's the best senior. He presented his TCC and he received the prize, like the best senior student or project in his school. The third one likes to sing. He plays the violin, and he was a prize winner for research at a university during, remember, high school. So these 3 students are really, they seem to be committed and they are good. They are not as good as you guys are because Eric and I are very confident you are going to score much more than 700 in each one of the essay sessions. Sorry, not essays, ACT sessions. Right, Erica?
Indeed.
But what we need to think here, what's going to make a huge difference in these 3 applications?
Why, Arthur?
Many things.
Why would the candidate 3 be the most likely?
Arthur said that it depends a lot on the university they are applying to, but if I were from the general university, I would probably accept the third one. Okay, but let's suppose that you have another admission officer who says, okay, I think I would go for the first candidate. Well, he's really engaged in an extracurricular. He likes Olympics. He takes other, language courses. So he seems to be very strong. Although his scores could be higher, but I think he's a great fit for our institution. But how can someone say that the student is really a good fit for the institution? One of the things that make an application different from others is what? Is the essay. Erica, would you like to tell them why?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Because that's what makes it unique. That's what makes your application be really different from the others. And let's suppose that, I already told you guys probably, that let's suppose that you are going to apply to University of Chicago. And University of Chicago 2 years ago, I remember when Simon Nascimento, which was an Opportunity Funds student, and now he's the director of admissions for international students at University of Chicago. I'm going to repeat, he was an Opportunity Funds student back in 2006. Let's suppose that Simon reads this application. How can he advocate for you guys? What's going to make your application unique? Of course, it's your essay. Your essay is something. It's like how do you say cartão de visita? It's a personal. It's like a personal card. Sorry. Business card, or yes, a personal card. It's your chancela, it's your cartão de visita. It is what is going to make to be outstanding among other students. So that's why you're going to insist for you guys to write several drafts until we are sure your essays are in a perfect format.
And also, Simone, the admission officer will know that you are able to keep up with the classes, that you are able to tell your story in a way that it will be interesting to share that afterwards. And so besides, being able to tell your story, is just the content, the structure, how robust you're able to do that. And that counts a lot.
It's true. Stefano, would you like to, give some comments on that, or anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said so far. The essay, I think, is one of the most important parts because, once you have your scores and once you have your application set, there's really nothing you can do about it. But the essay is a really, really great way to humanize your application so you're not just numbers. One thing I would add is that, universities can tell, I think, if, you're only applying there because it's like your safety school, or you're doing it because you have to, or for whatever reason, that's not that you really see yourself at the university. So kind of examples you were saying earlier, if you apply to Barnard, but really you want to go to Harvard, and you go there, but really you want to transfer, you want to go to a different school. Usually universities can see right past that, and they really want students who want to be there. That's part of their statistics. They want to know how many people stay and how many people transfer, and they want as few people to transfer as possible and more people to stay. So that's why in your essay, if you really, really show that you see yourself at this university and give them specific reasons, and you can tell a great story about yourself, you're a lot more likely to get accepted.
It's so true. And remember, we are talking, everything we say about, we are saying here about the Common App can also be used regarding the supplementary essays. For example, giving Bernard as an example, you are going to write the Common App essay, and you're going to use this essay for each one of the universities, and you have other essays, supplementary essays as well. And Bernard are going to ask you, for example, to write why you want to apply to study in a women's college. And for sure, they're also going to give you another prompt, outro tema, another essay prompt, which is going to be really more challenging, I would say. Okay, let me move forward. So you guys know that you need to write, the Common App personal essay. You're going to have several university-specific essays and short answers. For example, what's your favorite food? What was the last book you read? What are your favorite color? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Pick one. things. Oh, thank you for letting me know and Erica know, Breno, about Gabriel. I hope he can join the session again. And also, we are going to have a space on the Common App, and also, if the application of that universe is not on Common App, you are also going, usually that's what happens. We are going to have a space to add additional information about yourself. And you should take advantage of this opportunity. Okay, Maria Victoria is saying, Common App personal essay, it's my personal statement. Yes, it's just a different name to use. For example, for graduate students, we say you need to write a personal statement. For undergraduate students, you say you need to write an essay, but essay and personal statement for undergraduate students, they mean the same. Essays are very personal. Stefano and Erica, would you like to add anything?
No, I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Stefano?
agree. That's pretty good.
Okay. For this year, 2018-19, you have, 7 prompts to choose on the Common App website. If you just Google it, not now, later, but yes, thank you. Who did that? Yes, Arthur, thank you, Arthur, so much. If you click to the link later, Arthur just posted here, you are going to be able to read exactly what is written in this PowerPoint. But you have 7, for example, some students have a background, interest, or something else that is so meaningful. The second one, the lessons you take from failures are fundamental for our success in the future. Reflect on a time when you were challenged or you are questioned about an idea. The fourth one, describe a problem you have solved or a problem you'd like to solve. How would you do that, or how you dealt with that in the past. Discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization. Describe a topic, idea, or concept that you find so engaging. And last one, share an essay on any topic of your choice. And this is my question for you guys. What do you think, which one of these prompts was the most that the students most wrote about last year? Most popular one last year? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? First, okay, Arthur said first. Okay, Marina said what? 7. Oh, Marina said 1. Okay. Abrão said 7. Abrão said 7. Giovanna said 1. And Camilo 7. Victor Gabriel 1. Ana Luisa 6. 3. Orisvaldo. Breno, sorry. Gabriele 1. Sorry.
What was the
6.
most
Breno, sorry what?
the most common
yes.
topic that
Yes.
students chose last year?
Okay, so this is the answer. The 1, the most popular essay prompt for 2017-18. Remember, this year is 18-19. Application year 2, January 5th, is discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth, which is the number 4. I don't think anyone
5.
said 4, right? 5. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, number 5. I don't think anyone mentioned here number 5, but this was the most popular prompt. Look at this, what the Meredith Lombard said. Through the Common App essay prompts, we want to give all applicants, regardless of background or access to counseling, so it's for everyone, the opportunity to share their voice with colleges. Every applicant has a unique story. We have in this group here, we have 18 opportunity students. Each one of you are different. You have different stories, you have different views, you have different personalities, you have, different bodies, different everything, different minds. So the idea is you guys need to show to the universities who you are. And you never tell the universities who you think they would like to hear from you. This is, if I could just give you a piece of advice, this would be the one. Never tell the university the things you think they want to hear from you, because they don't want to hear anything. They just want to hear who you are. It seems, cheesy, cliche, but it's true. It's so true. Okay, and Common App essay. All the universities require their Common App essay. You have not 5, sorry, this is a typo, 7 prompts. And remember, all the universities who are on Common App are going to receive the same essay. So that's why you cannot mention the Common App. At the end of Common App, for example, you cannot say, well, that's why I want to apply to Harvard, or that's why I want to apply to, I don't know, Quinnipiac, or that's why I want to apply to University of Toledo, or Baruch College, for example. You cannot say that, because this essay is going to be shared with all your list of universities. Stefano, the floor is yours.
Sure. And just to add to the last thing you said, the biggest way to, or probably the dumbest way to get rejected is to tell Harvard how much you want to go to Yale.
Yes. And I already had several students doing that, not just undergraduate, but as well graduate students as well. And at the last minute, thank you God, I saw these mistakes. But this happens a lot, and the admission officers get really mad because they need to read, zillions of applications, and this is, a very silly mistake to do. Let me answer something here.
Yes, universities which use other way to application besides Common App also asks a personal statement with different prompts, or they use the same prompts from Common App.
No, if the university has a specific platform where you are going to apply through, for example, MIT is a good example, their prompts, these prompts from this university are going to be completely different. They don't use the Common App prompts for their specific applications. Okay.
And Arthur, I like most of those essay prompts. Should I start brainstorming and drafting more than one prompt, or should I focus on only one?
Do you know what? It really depends on you. Sometimes you have the idea that you really prefer one idea, one prompt than another, and then you start writing, and you write the first time, and then you rewrite, and then you write, and you don't move. You don't have a good process. Sometimes it's a good idea to start 2 different prompts and see in which one you feel more comfortable, and then you choose one and move forward. Don't look back. Okay. So my answer would be, if you feel comfortable, try 2. But after a few days, you need to have one essay, and you're going to focus in just one essay. Forget the other ideas. But remember, you have an ETA who are going to help you with the essay, and you have an advisor who is really going to help with your essay, and it's going to revise your essay more than one time. Okay. Okay, Stefano.
Okay, so what not to do in your essay. Number 1, please do not treat this essay like a list of achievements or like a space to write out a paragraph form of your resume or your CV. Because remember, the colleges already have that information from you. And so they don't want to see it again unless you're going to expand on it and tell them something new about it. Like, how did you get involved in this activity? Or something like that. But try not to tell them stuff that they already know about you, because they're going to see it as a waste of time and a waste of space, because you could have written other details about yourself in that space. So don't stray off from the topic. If you're going to write an essay about maybe your experience living in your city, don't write about times that you've been in other places, or don't write about like a sibling's experience or a friend's experience that's not your own. When you really want to focus on the topic, and if it helps you, I think you should underline key words in the essay prompt to make sure that you really answer the question that they're asking from you, and don't get distracted and by accident start answering a different question that they didn't ask. So kind of like how I just mentioned, don't spend half your essay telling somebody else's story, telling your mom's story, your dad's story, friends, or your dog, when it's not relevant to what's happening. Because you can talk about maybe the relationship to you, but this essay really is about you, not about your friend or somebody else.
Let me add something here, Stefano. I remember one of my opportunity funds. It was an opportunity fund student several years ago, who wrote an essay about his grandma. And I remember he tried to describe the scene where he told that his grandma was very sick. He was facing a hard time because he had cancer. She had cancer, and remember he said that he was sitting at his living room with this glass with hot milk, and his grandmother was reading a very sad story to him. And then I started feeling depressed when I was reading his essay, and very depressed, and I was sorry for his grandma. And then I told him, wait, first of all, what impression you would like to give to the university? Would you like them to remember you something like, oh, this is the student who grandmother was about to die and it was a very sad story? Or would you like to say something about yourself, because this essay is the biggest opportunity you're going to have to present yourself and to introduce you to the university? And then, thank you God, he changed his idea. But I think in his case, this was kind of a way to him to express how sad he was. It was just a catharsis, something like that. And thank you God, he didn't really continue with the idea to write in this essay, because it would be a disaster. And he was accepted at the end with full rights. So anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, Simone, on that topic, because the topic that sometimes you feel most attracted to sometimes is not the right topic for you to write about if it's like a really downer or a really bad story. So you might have to look at the content on which it will impress the admissions officer, but it's not going to make them think like, oh, they need to stay home, the student needs their family, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, and also remember this: the essay is about yourself. It's not about your grandmother or your dog or your father or your best friend. Of course, you can talk about your best friend, your dog, your father, your mother, your family, your grandmother, your advisors, anyone. But what was the relation you developed with this person? How does help you to become a better person? This is what matters at the end of the day. We are going to submit your essay. Okay. The question here is Breno. Breno is saying, what do you think about writing an essay about games? As it is one of my favorite hobbies, sometimes the games I play define what I'm feeling. Go for it. There is no problem at all. If games is something that you really appreciate, something you really enjoy, and you think you can show different aspects of your personality, go for it. Okay, go ahead, Stefano. I'm going to be quiet now.
No, it's fine. And just to add, it doesn't mean that you can't write about something sad that happened in your life, but the point is, like, what did that teach you? What did that make you think about? That's not about the sad event. It's about how that changed you and how that made you the person you are. So
and
just
how
to
do you
continue,
overcome, right? And how do you overcome that situation?
Exactly.
Learn it from that experience. Thank you.
So for the next one, don't use adjectives to describe or to characterize yourself. Use examples. So for example, don't tell the university that you're a very smart person. They know you're a smart person. They've seen your grades. They've seen your scores. They know that about you. but maybe tell a story about what makes you a smart person without saying that you're a smart person. Or maybe you're like very empathetic. Maybe you really enjoy doing volunteer work. Don't tell them that you like to do volunteer work. Talk about the volunteer work that you've done and why it's important to you, why you got involved in it, and what it teaches you. And don't focus on problems. Focus on how you overcame those problems. There's exceptions to the rule, but normally you probably don't want to say negative things about yourself unless you're saying how you overcame those negative things, overcame those challenges. Because if you describe yourself to the university saying only bad things about yourself, they're probably not going to be very convinced to accept you. You know, you want to tell them the good things about yourself and how you've overcome challenges, because you're going to face a lot of challenges in the future, just like anyone else will. And they want to see that you're the type of person that can face those challenges head on and is very resilient. And then lastly, don't blame people, your circumstances, your school, or whoever to explain like negative aspects about your application or weaknesses in your application. They're not going to care if maybe you had a really mean teacher who didn't like you, and that's why you got a bad grade in your math class. You know, that might be the case. I'm not saying, you know, you haven't had those challenges or bad things haven't happened. But like I said, they don't want to hear about you complaining about your life, even though it might feel good to write it out and kind of complain, right? If you want to complain, that's what we're here for. But in the essay, they want to hear about ways that you've overcome this kind of challenges. Like, how did you work with people in order to get at the grade that you wanted? How did you work with your school or somebody who you didn't get along with in order to accomplish a goal that you both had? So again, don't apologize for any weaknesses in your application. Don't kind of say bad things about yourself. They don't want to hear bad things. They want to hear about what an amazing person you are, and all of you are amazing people, and you all have unique things about yourselves. And so don't compare your essay to someone else's essay, because it doesn't matter what someone else's essay is. Somebody else's essay could be, somebody else might have really, really great scores, but they might have a very bad essay because they haven't put the thought into it and the work to kind of craft this story that we have. And don't be undisciplined when you're writing. You know, these essays are not just going to appear out of nowhere. You're not going to wake up one day and write the perfect essay in 5 minutes. It's going to take weeks, maybe months, in order to craft a really, really good essay that you've really thought about every sentence in it and why it's important to include it. Then write your essay in English. And don't send your essay to random people to read, because maybe you have like a very close friend, but they don't know what the university is looking for. Maybe that doesn't mean you can't send it to your friends to give you feedback, but there's also dedicated people here to help you to craft the essay and give you feedback that the universities would like to read.
Yes, and that's one thing, Stefano, that I cannot stress enough, you guys. You know, you have your advisors. Some of you have two advisors that could read and give feedback, because that's the thing. We know you. We know your story. We know what you've been through, and that's all in the essay. And sometimes you give to a random person just for them to read. They're not going to give you the right critique, and they're not going to tell you things that you need to change about the essay that will have what an admission officer is looking for. You know, if you tell your dad and your mom and your uncle and your cousin and your best friend, they're going to be like, this is the best essay I ever read in my life. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to say that. And so you need to think about the right people that are going to give you a nice review. Okay. And one tip that Deborah just wrote down here, and I think it's amazing, is storytelling techniques. I think that is great tip, Deborah. Thank you for sharing that, because if you're someone in the STEM field that's not really used to writing essays or, you know, doesn't like it, it might help you, okay, with that.
Erica, let me just add something. I'm not sure if you're going to be so as polite as you were, but we also understand if you guys join other programs as well. But remember, you are going to send your application to the U.S. universities through opportunity funds from Education USA. So we understand you want to, you know, have other people's opinions on your essay, but we are your advisor. The program is responsible for your application, and we send the application with our endorsement. We should let you know what we expect from you, and we don't expect that you have other people reading your application and really giving, how can I say, more than tips, giving you orders about your application. I think you guys understood what I'm trying to say. I hope. Okay. Questions on that? If not, okay, let's move to the other slide. Oh, Stefan, would you like to comment on Eureka?
Yes, so what is the Eureka myth? So it's kind of the idea that I just said, that if you think that the idea is going to come out of nowhere for the perfect essay, you're going to wake up one morning and Eureka, you're going to have the perfect essay, you're going to have the perfect idea, but that's usually not how it works. Usually the perfect essay comes from a lot of planning. So the kind of tips that we talked about, we're going to brainstorm, we're going to write a draft, you're going to send it to your advisors, to us, to the ETAs, and we're going to give you feedback, and then you're going to write another draft. And it comes from a lot of hard work, not just in the moment. You're going to wake up and write the perfect essay on the spot.
Perfect. And sometimes the students cannot start writing their essays because they are waiting for Eureka, like, oh my God, I'm going to have this amazing idea, and or I had an amazing idea yesterday or last week, and but I don't know how to start writing. So I need to have another great idea to start, to know how I'm supposed to start writing my essay. Come on, guys, this just doesn't exist. If you have an idea, go for it. Start writing. That's all you need to do.
And I know, like, it can be very easy to be nervous about writing because we're going to think, I don't have any ideas, my essay is going to be bad. But you just need to start, because your ideas are going to come as you're writing. And your first draft might look nothing like your final draft. But you'll never get to that perfect essay, that final draft, until you get through your first, your second, your third draft and send it to people and get that feedback.
Yes, perfect. This is just an example. Sorry, guys. This is just an example of an essay prompt from Dartmouth. And remember, Dartmouth is an Ivy League, a great institution. And also, what do they offer for international students? Something remember, regarding, who knows what I'm trying to say here? They have what for opportunity funds? These students, they have what? They are need blind.
They
So
have
they have need blind. Yes, they are need blind. They have a great financial resource. In other words, they give full scholarships for the full package for international students. And at this moment, we have there 3 opportunity funds students. Who knows, this year we are going to have the 4th or the 5th opportunity funds student there. So fingers crossed. So every name tells a story. Tell us about your name, any name, first, middle, nickname, and it's orange. It's just, you know, the prompt they have chosen for 2015 class. Look at this one. University of Chicago, they always, you know, come up with very different essays, ideas. Orange is the new black, 50 is the new 30, comedy is the new rock and roll, and blah, blah, blah is the new blah, blah, blah. What's in, what's out, and why it is being replaced. Wow. Kind of, how can I say, different. At least unusual, right? Any tips on here, Stefano?
This is a very, very hard one. This is not the kind of essay that most people can just think in the moment, in the snap, and answer, right? I personally can't think of an answer right now for this, but I would really just take it and talk to people about it. Like, well, what's in, what's out? What are the trends that you see? And what do you think about what's happening? What is happening in the world right now that is changing? And why? And what do you think about that? Is what I would think.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Just a second, please. Okay, here. Oh, this is so popular. Why? Write what you feel, write who you are, write from your heart. And the prompt is why, for example, why University X, why University of Chicago, for example, why Dartmouth, why you want to apply to our institution, prompts like that. You need to really do your research and know details about the university and avoid common things like I want to go to Columbia University because it's located in New York, or I want to study in your institution because since I was 5 years old, I dreamed about Mickey Mouse and I'm really, passionate about everything related to the US and I want to go to study in a university in the US. No way, it's too shallow. There's no way you're going to send your essay to the universities. Okay. Stefano, if you want to add anything, please feel free. And so as you, Erica.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Very short answers. Would you like to do this one, Stefano?
Sure. So very short answers. Your favorite book and its author, your favorite movie, your favorite website, 2 adjectives your friends would use to describe you. So all these things, it's very easy to say like my favorite book is Harry Potter. But something to think about is how many people do you think have Harry Potter as their favorite book? And so the point of this is like not to lie. Of course, you should tell the truth always, but try to give more information about yourself. Like what kind of books do you like to read that other people might not be reading? What is your favorite movie that's not like the movie that just came out last week? What's your favorite website? That's a hard one. There's billions of websites out there. 2 adjectives that your friends would use to describe you. Don't say nice. Don't say smart. They want to hear something that you really, really thought about the answer to the question.
Be very specific, right? Mm-hmm. Be very specific.
This isn't the type of thing where you have to answer in 10 seconds. You have a lot of time to answer these questions, so they want to hear a unique thing. They don't want to hear something that anybody could have written about anybody. So your favorite recording or your favorite song, your favorite keepsake or memento, that of course should be very personal. Favorite source of inspiration. And that might be a person, that might be an artist, that might be a location. It could be anything, right? You have to be creative about it. And specific.
Do you know what, Stefano? Do you know what? This is my perspective. This is my opinion. There's no right and wrong in these questions. It's just you. For example, what's your favorite movie? I don't know. I can say that my favorite movie is what? Moulin Rouge. No, it's not, by the way. But or I could say that it's what? I don't know. Any other movie? Poderoso Chefão? I don't know. There's no right and wrong. But you should really say what is important to you guys here. No, that's it.
No, sure. So you should think about like, well, why is this my favorite movie? They're not asking that of you, but you should think about it. Why is this my favorite movie? And really just put some intention into your answers. Like your favorite line from a movie or book and its title.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Okay, so next is not so short answers. List the films, concerts, shows, exhibits, lectures, and other entertainment that you enjoyed the most in the past year. So that's going to definitely show like who you are as a person and what the things that you like. And you have something to say?
Okay, I was going to say that sometimes the students, when they need to answer this kind of things, they come to me and say, well, you know what? I just went to the movies twice last year. I didn't read books, or I didn't, you know, dedicated too much time to this kind of things. What I'm going to do here? It's okay. Don't freak out. Just tell the university that, well, I didn't dedicate my time last year or in the past years for that, but my favorite movie was blah 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 blah, and that's all. Don't feel guilty. Just write what you need to write and move forward. Try to be very honest with the university. Okay. Oh, Stephen, Teen Beach Movies, deep, honestly, yes. Well, you know,
Has lots of.
I'm not going to say anything. Okay, I'm just going to respect
I really like
if
that
it's your
movie.
perspective. It's okay. It's okay. It's up
Lots
to
of social
them. It's not
justice
up
themes.
to us. Yes, yes.
Oh wow, I really love that movie. Okay,
So, you know
maybe not
what?
the
I
Pirate
like
Bay.
to. Well, do you guys want to know what's my favorite movie? It's Forrest Gump.
Oh, I
Forrest
love that
Gump for me,
movie.
yes. And the other one with what's the name? I don't remember. Oh, that's Dead Poet Society. I also love. Oh, Captain, My Captain. But this is me. Maybe, you know, I don't know. This is just me. This is what important for me, and it's going to be different from each one of you guys. Thank
And
you,
I
God.
think and I think there's one word, right, that Martha used in her activity for the essay and the application that sort of puts everything together, right? And what is that? Does anyone remember that word? When you are talking about your favorite things, your favorite books, films, you're choosing a topic, what does that have to do? Exactly, Mariana. Meaning. It has to give meaning to the admissions officer, so it ties everything together. Good job.
Exactly. Wow,
Hmm.
Mariana. I don't know how to say that in English because there is no translation for this word, but arrasou. Okay, and the other prompt, not so short answer, list the required readings from courses during the school year or summer that you enjoyed most in the past year. Well, just for example, okay, I didn't go to a summer in Yale or whatever. I just stayed in Brazil, so I don't have anything to comment, but I really like to read about blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah during my um, senior year, senior high. So I'm going to comment, for example, about Machado de Assis, because I need to read this book from Machado de Assis, and I really had a great time. And remember, it's just 150 words. You don't need to explain with so much details. This is important. Remember, your goal is to choose and develop a topic that will show you, that will demonstrate to the university who you guys are. Short is much better than long. Don't encham linguiça. So don't, run away from the topic and start talking, and not say anything relevant. Don't do that. Simple is good. Try to keep things as simple as you can. And one thought per sentence. Stefan, I'd love if you could share your perspective on those ideas.
Yes. So in English writing, we love simplicity. If you take forever to say one thing, it's really, really easy to get distracted, both as the reader and as the writer. And so I kind of mentioned it before earlier too, that if you kind of get into writing these very verbose, very wordy explanations, it's easy to get off topic and start answering a different prompt that's not the prompt that was asked of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why keep it simple, keep it short, keep it succinct, so that you're really answering the question that they're asking in a way that you're expressing yourself clearly. And
Yes,
remember,
less is more here, right? Less is more.
yeah, less is absolutely more. Because if you take forever telling a story about your grandma, when maybe it's not so relevant to the prompt necessarily, doesn't mean you can't mention your grandma or your friend or whatever, like we said. Just don't spend too much time on it, because you're taking up space where you can be talking about yourself and giving more details about yourself and humanizing your application.
Hello,
Hello.
Simone. Oh,
Sorry. I just muted. Sorry, and I was talking and no one was hearing. Sorry, and thank you. Anyway, half draft writing. So the first draft, your advisor is the point person for essay reviews. If you have any issue, just contact me or Erica, and we'll help you. But anyway, your advisor is your point person. We have some advisors here in the room. We have Deborah, we have Christina, we have, I don't know if Aaron is here today. I don't think, not so sure he's here. But anyway, contact your advisors and tell them that you have questions about your essay draft. The best way to start a draft is just, put your ideas, share your ideas with the paper, and then show to your advisor. Sometimes you don't have the words organized in a way that makes sense. List all the, the words you'd like to use, and then later you are going to have an essay, we promise you. So ETAs are here to give you support on grammar, brainstorming, and help you with your English skills. ETAs are, guys, you have private English teachers. I wish I could have my own ETA. Erica would love to. Yes, it's true. Wouldn't you like to have an ETA for you to
oh
help you?
yes,
Oh my God, my
all
life
day.
would be much better, and I was going to be able to give a much better presentation in English for you guys. Anyway, make sure to email the following people once you have put your first draft on your Google Drive, which is your advisor, the ETA, and the coordination. We need to be aware when you add your first draft to the Common App. Does it mean you are going to send the first draft to your ETA and to advisor? No, you are going to upload your first. You don't need to upload. You just go to your Google Drive, create a new document, start writing your Common App draft, Common App essay draft, and tell your ETA, and in the same message, copy your advisor, ETA, and coordination. Okay, we all need to be on the same page. Please do not forget to include the advisors and ETAs and coordination. Remember, check your grammar. Remember, guys, you have a private English teacher, which are the ETAs. Be careful with extremes, and you're going to read this, this. I forgot the name. Como fala isso? This cartoons later. And be aware about the writing process. The ideas don't come up from, as a magical thing. you need to pre-write and pre-write and pre-write. Keep a notebook next to your bed, and sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh my God, I remember something, or I had an idea. Just have a notepad there where you can write your words or ideas, and then you can use
I
that
did that.
ideas later. Sorry, you do that?
Yeah, I did that.
Do you think this is useful?
Yes, I remember actually when I was applying for the Fulbright program, I would like wake up in the middle of the night, have an idea, get my phone, open up notes, and write it down because I knew I wasn't going to remember it when I woke up in the morning.
Cool.
I recommend that.
Me too. I think it's a very useful way to to share and to share your ideas with yourself and to remember your ideas later. There is a question here. For those who will be in summer programs, we should send the first draft before we go to the program or when you come back. It depends. If I'm not wrong, I'm trying to check here the deadline, but if I'm not wrong, the deadline for the first Common App essay, and you're going not to extend this deadline. Erica, could you check the calendar? Just double check the calendar, please. But I think it's July 22. But we are going to let you know in a few seconds. Stefano, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, the last thing I want to add is to remember it can be really easy to get frustrated and think, I'll have a really, really bad essay. And it's normal to get frustrated, but remember, we're going to work with you, and your first draft probably will look completely different from your final. So don't worry too much. Just try your best at every stage of the essay writing process.
Okay, perfect. I completely agree with what you just said. No, you guys are able to see my screen, but Erica said 17. I remember. Is this a printed calendar or the online one, Erica?
This is my own personal. I put every date on my personal calendar. So
because
this probably
I
is this. Oh, okay. Maybe that's why.
Oh, and guys, this is a good example. You guys need to check the calendar dates because sometimes we need to change to make some adjustments. And Erica, if you have 5 minutes after we finish the session, I need to talk with you about
okay, that's
some
why you
activities.
changed it. Okay.
Yes, but anyway, let me just check here.
The 22nd.
July 22nd. That's what I said before. I thought it was July 22nd. Send the first draft Common App. It's not send. Remember, you need to send an email to the advisors. And I'm going to change the verb here, upload, to upload. Oops. Upload the first Common App essay on Google Drive and send an email to your advisor. And Mavi, I think you asked advisor, just a second, advisor and advisor, ETA, and Oportunidades Acadêmicas. This way I think it's clear. We understand that the experiences you are going to have during summer are going to be important, but we cannot wait until you guys come back from the summer programs to start writing your essays. And as I said, we are not going to postpone this date. You need to be aware that you have almost a month from now, you have what, 27, 28 days to write an essay, and it's a draft. So it's not going to be perfect, but after this first draft, your advisor is going to revise, your ETA is going to revise, and we are going to be more, prepare with more information about your essay to better help you to write your first essay. There are some questions here. Mariana, the specific essay prompts are already available. Mesma pergunta da Ana. Yes, the specific essays prompts, and I think Arthur posted here. No, the specific essay prompts. No, sorry. The Common App essay prompts, and remember, this session is much more about Common App essay. And the essays for the Common App, and we are going to to prepare the draft for the Common App essay. They are already available and are the ones who we mentioned here in the presentation, and Arthur shared with you the link with the prompts. But the specific essays, the universities are going, or supplementary essays, the universities are going to release their prompts on August. Most part of the universities by August 1st to August 5th, they release all information regarding application process and essay prompts. So remember, you are going to focus now on the Common App essay, and that's all for now. Is there a problem if I try to finish earlier? Never. There won't be a problem, never, ever, if you finish it later. You just need to remember to upload on the on the Google Drive, write an email to coordination advisor and ETA. Okay, don't forget, guys. Questions? Is there a problem if I send more than one draft to more than one prompt? No, it's okay, especially you are working with me, and no, it's okay. It's okay, completely okay. Okay. I have a task for you guys. Have you heard about the Costco essay? The Costco. Erica and Stefan, are you familiar? Are you guys familiar with the Costco essay?
No, I'm not familiar.
So let me open. Can you guys see my screen? Yes, right? The Costco essay. This one of the most, how can I say, naive and smartest essays I have ever seen in life. This girl, the girl who wrote this essay, was an American student who was accepted, I think I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I think it was 2 years ago, and she was accepted in, I think, six universities. And it got very viral. Let me show you here. And you guys should, 5 Ivy Leagues. Oh, she's so pretty. This girl, Brittany, she was accepted too. Yale, Columbia, UPenn, Dartmouth, and Cornell, just that. She ended up going to Stanford. And Stanford, 2 years ago, had the acceptance rate, still the same, 4.69%. A lower rate than any Ivy League school. So anyway, the prompt he chose was: some students have a background, identity, interest, or talent that is so meaningful they believe their application would be incomplete without it. So if this sounds like you, then please share your story. So I'm not going to read the essay here, but this essay is about her life. She told everyone that the day she went to Costco with her mother. And Costco, do you know what Costco means, Erica?
Yes.
Could you explain what Costco is?
Imagine
about?
atacadão.
Yes.
Atacadão ou açaí.
There's no translation, guys.
There's no translation.
No.
But it's like those huge supermarkets where you buy in bulk, where you buy in big volumes and quantities, and it's sometimes cheaper. Yes.
It's like it's not a mall. It's not fair to say it's a mall, but it looks like kind of. It's so big. It's a huge store, like Macro.
It's huge.
What do you think about Costco, Stefano?
I love Costco.
There's no.
Every time my mom goes to Costco, I go with her. I eat the free samples. I get lost.
Yes.
And
huge.
they have
And you,
really good deals, and they're you know, if you have big families or you're doing an event, it's a really great place to go and shop there, because also if you, but you have to be a member. It's like a membership thing. And if you're a
Mhm.
member, you can get
Yes,
discounts on certain things, on gasoline, that they also have like a gas station there.
and this
Hmm.
girl is very smart because she explained a day when she went to Costco, because, and she said, was very easy to go to Costco with my mother, and then she started explaining, and she shows all the time. She didn't tell. She showed all the time how smart she was. And she did something that I think is very important. She used her five senses. For example, she said, as just an example, as I was walking through Costco, I could feel the smell of the popcorn. I could touch the. Como é que é algodão doce, gente?
Cotton candy.
Isso. Thank you. And the list um, go on. Então, assim, ela vai falando da experiência dela, por exemplo, why enjoy an obligatory hot dog? Why? Because if you go to Costco, you have a hot dog. And this was like a tradition for her family. And she explained about that. And she, instead saying, I'm very smart, I'm very intelligent, I have a good perception of things, no, she showed that. So she was very smart. When she said, for example, I adopt my exploratory skills. Before that, she gave examples about her exploratory skills. Guys, you really need to read this essay. For me, this is very inspiring. And she is very smart.
And also,
And
it's not like a impressive topic, right? So if you think about, it's like a day-to-day thing that she transformed into something very creative and very meaningful to her, because that was her day-to-day thing. And so she was able to translate that into an essay that caught the attention of the admissions officer. So when you read these
yes,
essay, make sure that you are picking up what's there that's different, you know?
yes, it's so true. And one of in one of the parts of the essay, because I think she want to apply to something related to sciences and physics. She mentioned that. She mentioned something related to physics. Instead saying, why, that's why I want to study physics. No, she just made a relation between things she was seeing at Costco and her intended major. I think this student, Brittany, right? I forgot her name. I always forget her name. Yes, Brittany Stinson was amazing. So please, yes, physics. Please read this essay, okay? Questions, Googling and YouTubing examples of good essays is a great way to get inspired. I agree with you, Stefano. I super agree. I really agree. Googling and YouTubing essays, you're going to find really great materials. Remember, in our resource folder, we have some essays, examples of essays. And remember, you have your advisor, and you also have an ATA, and you have us. If you need to contact us, we are here to help you. Ok? Perguntas. Alguém quer perguntar alguma coisa? Ou alguém quer o microfone para falar? Senão a gente vai finish the session. Stefano, I don't know, is there anything else you'd like to add? Or you, Erica?
I think we just about covered it.
I think so. So, Stefano, thank you so much.
Thank you,
for
Stefano.
spending
Yeah,
your
thank you for
afternoon.
having me. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Anytime you want to, to join, the opportunity team and help us with sessions, you are more than welcome. You are already invited to other sessions as well.
Yes. And let
Oh,
us know if
awesome.
Marina is giving you trouble, because we'll come after her.
I'll let you know.
She's a good girl. I think she's going to do a great essay. Right, Marina? We have great expectations, especially because we met you guys in São Paulo, and after meeting you, you have great expectations for each one of you. Just one more question. When are the results for the ACT and SAT are going to be released? Who knows that?
I read something in like July 9th
I would
Oh.
say yes. I would say that
for the
the
subject.
results for the ACT are going for the SAT subjects are going to be released by the end of the month. July 11th for the SAT. Wow, really?
Wow.
And for the ACT, have you heard
I think it's until
any
August.
information?
They're going to start releasing it in July, right?
I think they're going to release the results for the ACT on the first week of July. Okay.
The next 2
Okay,
weeks, yeah.
guys.
Okay.
So have a good day. We are going to send you the recorded session later. Beijo e queijo. Fiquem com Deus. And
Bye,
don't
people.
forget, estudar nos Estados Unidos é mais fácil do que você pensa. Esse é o nosso slogan. A gente realmente acredita nisso. Advisors who joined the session, thank you so much. We love you. You
Thank you,
are
Cris
our
and
rock stars.
Débora.
Beijo, Cris. Beijo, Débora. Saudade de vocês, viu?
Bye, people.
Beijo,
Bye.
people. Fiquem com
Tchau.
Deus. Érica, pode ir pro Skype?
Posso.
Beijo. Érica,
Oi.
pode parar de gravar a sessão? Eu não tô conseguindo.
Eu tô tentando parar aqui.
Eu não tô conseguindo.
Hang on. Tá indo devagar. Deixa eu tentar aqui.
Eu não tô conseguindo mesmo. Não vai.
Se eu sair, será que vai perder?
Pode parar, senão eu vou encerrar a sessão aqui. Mas é que eu não quero encerrar porque eu quero...
Eu vou encerrar, porque senão eu não vou conseguir deixar de gravar.
Mas se você... Peraí. Essa sessão tá sendo... Se você encerrar, você vai ter que pegar a gravação.
Algumas gravações.
Converte aí, então.
Converto.
Tá, vamos falar pelo Skype. Beijo.
Beijo, tchau.
Tchau.